So, next thing we're going to do, we're going to take the mouthpiece and we're going to put it into what's called the lead pipe. Now, the lead pipe is part of this cylindrical tubing, and all it does is it just helps channel the sound around and out the bell. Okay? Super, super easy. Push it in. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate that you'll never do this. If I catch you doing this, I'm going to break your knuckles. No, just kidding. I don't perpetuate violence. But, like, we don't ever want to see any brass player, like, pop their mouthpiece like that. Like that. Because what that'll do, that's just like driving a wedge into a log. It'll end up splitting the lead pipe wide open, and your trumpet, congratulations, is now worth 50 cents. Right? And it's got to go to the trumpet hospital and get fixed. So don't do that. There is this really cool science thing, surface tension, metal-to-metal contact, where if you just push the mouthpiece until it stops and give it a quarter turn, that mouthpiece is not coming out, right? It's in there. Okay? Now, magic trick for you, right? I just tried to shake that thing as hard as I could to get it loose. Did it come out? No. Quarter turn back the other way. Magic. No, it's not magic. It's science. Surface tension, right? Get it in there, tighten it up. You just pull it back out, quarter turn back the other way, it releases. Okay? So, now we've got our mouthpiece into the lead pipe, right? Our trumpet is now, in fact, just a giant megaphone. It's taking the vibration of our lips and channeling it through the instrument out the bell. So, that's all it's doing. Now, you may have noticed, well, where are the keys, right? You see those 3 buttons there. Those aren't keys. Those are actually the tops of a giant piston going up and down. Now, I'm going to unscrew one so you can take a look and see what it looks like. You can see in this piston there are holes. And when you push the valve down, these holes open up different sections of pipe. Right? And what we want is for those holes to get lined up absolutely perfect. Of course, because I'm on live TV, it's going to fight me. Oh, did I get it? I think I did. There we go. Okay, now we got that locked in. Let's just make sure that I didn't put it in wrong. Now, on a flute, clarinet, saxophone, oboe, bassoon, there are 80 trillion keys per one of them, right? You get 3. Well, there's got to be a lot more than 3 notes, right? Well, I mean, you can use different combinations, but still, that's not a lot of notes. So how do I make all the notes on trumpet go? Well, remember how we talked about tightening and loosening those corners on our mouth? That's what causes the sound of a trumpet to go up or down. These valves are mostly just helpers. They're there to open up little checks of pipe to help move a note a little bit higher, a little bit lower, depending on how much pipe we open up. Now, before we start playing, I want to show you I got a photo for you back here. Most of you have either seen this or know who this guy is. And if you don't know who this guy is, you actually do. You just don't know that you know. You know, actually. You just don't know that you know him. This is Louis Armstrong. Probably like the most famous trumpet player ever. Definitely like the most famous jazz player ever. And he sang with that crazy voice, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. This is Andrea Royer, who, by the way, is another person who's an advocate of athletics and the arts going together, because not only is she a band director, or at least a former band director and instrument player, she also runs a yoga studio here in town, which is awesome. And she runs a jazz band called the Prism Band. You should check them out. They're awesome. Bunch of kids doing amazing rock stuff that, like, I wish I would have had access to as a kid. Ooh, super awesome. Way to go, Andrea. She had a picture, I think she posted a picture of Ella Fitzgerald today, who is a famous scat singer. Collaborated with Louis Armstrong quite a bit. Jazz band, awesome. Uh, Louis was sometimes, I think is, and I don't know whether it's legit or not, he would put his trumpet up to his mouth, and then you'd watch this happen. His cheeks would puff out. I call that blowfish. And if you look at the mechanics of it, if I puff my cheeks, what happens to my lips? They collapse on each other. And when there's that much like tension pushing down on my lips, how well do you think they're going to vibrate? Yeah, they're not going to vibrate at all. So we don't want that to happen. We want those lips to be able to stay nice and loose and free and able to do their thing. Right? And the way we do that, we make sure our cheeks stay tucked right back behind around the corner. You know, I've got my beard here. It's a little bit tougher to see. But we want to make sure that those corners of those cheeks stay tucked out behind the corners of our cheeks stay up in front of our cheeks there. Or the corners of our lips stay in front of our cheeks there. I knew I could talk. It's just a matter of getting there. All right, so let's go ahead and demo the trumpet here. Before the Germans figured out how to stick helper valves on this thing, you would have just had straight tubing without the valves. And we actually still kind of have this today in military sense. Anybody ever heard of a bugle? And no, I don't mean the cool little crunchy snack cracker thingy. It's what they would use to wake people up. So here is one of the bugle calls that they would use in the military. Now, did you see me push any of the valves down? No. And that's because I did 100% of the changing of notes up here. And let's see if I can try it on the mouthpiece. I wasn't planning on doing this. It's going to be 100% just on the fly. Okay, not bad. Yeah, another military bugle call they use for at least they use it for funerals or during memorial services is taps. I won't play the whole thing because it's really, 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 really difficult to play well. And in this time when we've got a bunch of emotions, it's Good Friday, I might actually get emotional and start to write. So I'll play the first part of it. That's just all the movement of the lips. Now, the shape of the mouthpiece and the way that the horn works, channeling sound, there are little nodes that form in spots in the instrument, allow that to happen. But then they wound up putting these little cheaters on here, or helpers, and that allows the trumpet to do more than just that. Etc., etc. We can change the notes a little bit in what's called the overtone series. So as far as yes, I'm still in puberty. As far as the size of a trumpet case, I know I showed you the flute case yesterday. Still pretty compact. It's not going to fit in your backpack. Sorry, but pretty light. I'd say this thing weighs 10 pounds or less. Super, super easy to transport, and it fits nicely in a stack. All right. If you guys have any questions or comments or constructive things that could use with minimal technology upgrade down here in the bunker in Cambodia, let me know. Otherwise, it's been real. I don't know if I'll be back on here later tonight. I know my family and I were planning on live streaming Good Friday service later tonight with some friends, maybe back in Illinois. But I'll certainly continue to be pushing these out to people around the Pierre area. Real quick, shout out to my band colleagues here in town who are continuing to work with students. Shout out to all you medical personnel who are doing the thing and putting yourselves at risk so that the rest of us can stay happy and healthy. I ended up taking my youngest son yesterday to the clinic because he's got an upper respiratory something going on, non-COVID upper respiratory thing, they think anyway. Nobody else in the house is sick, so we're convinced that it's probably something he picked up like while he was playing around out in the dirt or something. But he's doing better today. Yeah, and thank you to everybody who is doing your part, whether it's wearing a mask out there or staying home or going in and pushing stuff out online to help kids continue the education process. Thank you for everybody for doing your part in this crazy, unprecedented, whacked out, crazy times. We got the message from Dr. Klote right before I went live. Thank you, Dr. Klote, for your leadership. Thank you to Mr. Weeby for your leadership. Thank you to all the building principals and administration and the 5th grade teachers who are posting this out to all you crazy cats out there in quarantine. Be nice to your family. Give everybody love and stay safe. And be thinking about how you can, or what instrument you want to do as part of the band. Like I said, I don't know if I'll get another one up today or not, but we'll definitely be doing some more things on Saturday and some stuff on Easter Monday. Might have to do quite a bit all at once, and maybe a few things on Tuesday morning as well. But until then, you all have a happy and blessed Easter. If I don't see you before then, don't keep your head up out of the muck. And as my good friend Jonathan Fisk would say, rock on.